Gotta look it up. I know Bitcoin just hit 52. Ethereum's about to hit 2K tonight. There's so much happening, man. It's crazy. What's going on over there in the GERG? Nothing.
Well, TECHFALL mentioned, you know, Rush Limbaugh died.
Yeah. It's a huge
Lung
hit
cancer.
to this country. Yeah, he got diagnosed. Yeah, he got diagnosed in January of 2020.
Goddamn patient.
So his health was just like he didn't know how long he was going to live, and it just like the months kept tacking on. Like it became like October, November, December. He was still living, and then his health was just like deteriorating. You know, like lung cancer, it kills you quickly, man.
I know. Trump gave him the some sort of Medal of Honor about a year ago.
Yeah. He had a fantastic career, man. A lot of accomplishments, man. Like he it's interesting to, if you look back at his career, like he didn't start off as talking about politics on his radio show.
Right.
Like he had like a sports radio show back in like the 70s and 80s. He didn't really start getting into politics till like the 90s. You know.
So he was kind of like the shock jock, like the Howard Stern of like the political.
He ended up being like a shock jock of political. He was right wing. He was Republican. Yeah. I think he was. Right?
He was. No, he was definitely right wing.
Like I think like there was shit he was saying that would put Bill O'Reilly, make Bill O'Reilly blush. You know. Oh, that's what it. No, that wasn't him. What was Rush Limbaugh's big?
No, you're right.
Pas?
You're right. He was a.
He made a big faux pas at one point.
He was a radio provocateur. Okay, he was known for his denigrating language and reshaping American conservatism. He was the voice of the ring for 34
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, he was basically like the Howard Stern of political radio, if you know what I'm saying. He started off on AM. Like people probably don't even know what AM radio is anymore nowadays.
Did you know he coined the term feminazis? That's his term. He made that famous.
Feminazis.
Guess he wasn't a fan of the feminist movement as a whole.
Oh, of course not. I mean, if he's white and Republican, then no, he's not.
Right. But he had lung cancer, Chris. And I guess not COVID related. This is just
No, it wasn't COVID related. He got diagnosed in January of 2020. Is when he found out he had lung cancer. His health was just slipping after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died at 70 years old. It's just like, yeah.
Oh, he was the one who started the Barack Obama birthplace conspiracy. Proving it's a citizen. That was one thing he was
saying. That was a good fucking 15 years ago.
2009, almost, yeah.
12 years ago. 12 years ago.
And how Obamacare would empower death panels and euthanize elderly Americans. That was one of his classics.
Rush Limbaugh was an American radio personality, conservative political commentator, author, television show host. He was best known as the host of his radio show, The Rush Limbaugh Show, which has been a national syndication on AM and FM radio stations. Died at 70 of lung battle with cancer. I mean, he was a bit over the top. I never paid attention. I remember he smoked cigars like a fucking chimney on his show. Like he would sit there in the radio show, like sucking them down.
He made fun of Michael J. Fox for imitating, like, he ridiculed his tremors. Michael J. Fox's tremors, said that he was faking it.
Yeah, he got in trouble for that shit. Oh, what is it? His obituary was available.
Yeah, Pope is a obituary.
Right-wing broadcaster known for a brand of attacking shock jock radio that set the tone for internet. He set the tone for the internet age of politics through his radio. Rush Limbaugh, who has died since he suffered cancer, virtually created the style of political shock jock radio that made him so influential. His broadcasts featuring attacks on opponents as purveyors of what we now call fake news became the template for television's Fox News, and its peak played a huge part in Newt Gingrich's Republican Revolution of '94, which recaptured the House of Reps from Bill Clinton's Dems. Limbaugh set the tone for the internet age of politics, calling women's rights activists feminazis, referring to HIV/AIDS as Rock Hudson's disease, Jesus Christ, and claiming environmentalist wackos were a bunch of scientists organized around a political position. He argued that the existence of gorillas disproved evolution. Okay. Characterized both the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. And the mosque shootings in Christchurch, New Zealand as false flag operation organized by leftists, and accused the Virginia governor, Terry McAuliffe, of allowing the Charlottesville rioting in 2017 to worsen in order to boost his presidential ambitions. Have you ever noticed how composite sketches of criminals always looked like the black activist Jesse Jackson? He asked his listeners. Oh my God.
The guy was married.
That just made sense to me. I've had a few. Have you ever noticed how composite sketches of criminals always look like Jesse Jackson? What?
Wait, what? What's the joke?
The joke is, or the comment, his point is, have you ever noticed how composite sketches of criminals always look like Jesse Jackson?
Right. That's, yeah. A little tinge.
Oh my God. That's when he cut off callers on air, he would play a vacuum cleaner noise shouting, caller abortion. What the fuck? His listeners, whom he dubbed ditto heads, ate it up. While those who were offended often tune in to express their disgust. In recent years, the independent fact-checking site PolitiFact consistently rated Limbaugh high in terms of pants on fire untruths, just as consistently at 0 untruths. Limbaugh was born in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Oh, he's Missouri born.
The guy was married 4 times, divorced 3 times, no kids, lived in Palm Beach in a state surrounded by oriental carpets, chandeliers, and a 2-story mahogany paneled library with leatherwood-bound collections. He had half a dozen cars, one costing $450,000, a $54 million Gulfstream G550 jet. He was known to drop $5,000 tips in restaurants. He was overweight, sometimes topping 300 pounds, a cigar smoker with an impish grin and sly eyes. Jaunty, rapid, staccato, breaking in a squeaky dolphin talk or falsetto sobbing to expose the do-gooders with his inventive, bruising vocabulary. Guy was a real American icon.
Rush Limbaugh did poorly at school, then quit Southeast Missouri State University.
He dropped out of college.
Yeah, he dropped out of college because he got a radio job, and he kept getting radio jobs. After a year, found a job with a radio station in Pennsylvania as Bachelor Chief Christie. He went by the moniker Bachelor Jeff Christie, but was fired after he told a black caller he claimed to find difficult to understand to take the bone out of your nose. You fucking he was racist like right out of college. I mean, it's clear. He was then fired from a nighttime show in Pittsburgh when new management took over. In Kansas City, his morning current affairs talk show in Cuddle on KUDL, then an evening talk show K. Fix both ended in sackings for what he described as differences with management. At this point, he considered himself a moderate failure. He married Roxy McNeely and then divorced. Dude, I mean, like,
it's interesting. Listen to this. As a boy, Rush was a pudgy loner who disliked school and longed in vain for popularity. He liked radio and made up play-by-play baseball broadcasts. During his rebellious years in the 1960s, he never dated. At 16, he took a summer course in radio engineering and with broadcaster's license, got an after-school disc jockey job at a local radio station. That all started.
I mean, here he is at a rally for Trump.
Dude, I didn't realize that it says in 2003, the sports network, ESPN, hired him as an analyst on their Monday Night Football broadcast team. But a few weeks into the season, he upset viewers by saying that the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, Donovan Mcnabb, was overrated because the media is very desirous that a black quarterback do well.
Desirous. Because the media is very desirous that a black quarterback do well. But Donovan McNabb did well as a quarterback, didn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
He was
Very well.
He did well. Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of early. Like, wait a minute, the TV show ended in 1965 really went strength to strength. I don't know. He had a healthy radio career in Florida, apparently, but like ESPN hired him. Like, look at his track record so far. But okay, and then he apparently he got bumped. It was an especially odd remark, given that 1/3 of the league's starting quarterbacks were black. That year, one of them, Tennessee Steve McNair, would be joint winner of league's most valuable player. Steve McNair, is that the Steve McNair from DeMatha?
No, that was Steve McNair. He played for the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm.
He spent majority of his career there. Then he played with Baltimore.
That's not Steve
Ravens.
McNair that's not Steve McNair from DeMatha High School?
No.
I know there was okay.
No, this guy played in the NFL. He didn't. I don't think he didn't go to the MAFIA. He died like years ago. I think he got murdered or something.
The George W. Bush years seemed to stretch him. He said the U.S. torture of prisoners in 2003 at the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq was no worse than what happens at a Skull and Bones initiation. Oh my God! Perhaps forgetting that Bush and his father were both members of that Yale University secret society. But just as Clinton had been a godsend, so Barack Hussein inspired Limbaugh to new heights of partisan venom, so on and so forth. I mean, listen, it sucks when someone passes, especially from something like lung cancer. This guy definitely left his mark on media. That's for sure.
The guy's a legend in America forever. No question.
But, yeah. So, Rush Limbaugh.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Rush Limbaugh. I mean, you know, we did lose a, to the best of our knowledge, a tax-paying citizen of the United States of America. So, rest in peace, Rush Limbaugh. So apparently it made it into the news that the emoji crying with tears is no longer hip. Did you hear about this?
No.
What?
Rash of shit.
Did somebody get offended?
It was a CNN article.
Somebody's always offended. That's where these things come up.
You guys are gonna fucking love this. So it's like not hip anymore to use this emoji.
What emoji?
One second. Let me pull this thing up. See if I can do this all slick like. So sorry, millennials. The laughing so hard you're crying emoji isn't cool anymore. You guys haven't heard about this nonsense?
This is the first time I'm hearing about this nonsense.
So
crying emoji, like sending it to your friend?
no, laughing so hard you're crying. It's the laughing on the floor, laughing so what the LMFAO? LMFAO. So laughing so hard you're crying isn't hip anymore. And
okay, good to know.
Bad news for people who frequently use that, it's no longer cool. In recent weeks, two internet savvy generations have been clashing in videos and comments on TikTok over the hallmarks of millennial culture that are now deemed uncool by Gen Z. The list includes skinny jeans, set them on fire, side parts, middle part or bust. Middle part,
That's
the fuck out of here. That is fucking whack as fuck. Side part or bust, buddy. Get out of here. I don't need no cash back. And perhaps most painful of all, the popular laughing, crying emoji that some millennials, myself included, use hundreds of times a day. Do you know that the three of us are millennials?
Yes.
We are actually, the three of us are actually millennials.
Right.
I'm sorry to say.
You're as old as it gets for a millennial. You might be on the border.
I think you're still Generation X. Anybody that was born.
I always thought so, but apparently I'm not.
No, I've seen I've heard from 1965 to 1980 is Gen X.
But 1980.
You were born in 1980.
But 1980 to whenever is.
Yeah, you're kind of on the borderline.
Right.
I think it's like 1982 is when it starts. The millennium.
No, I mean, I wouldn't consider.
No, the line is 80.
But
you were, but Chris, we're the same age, and I think based on our years, we're actually millennials. I always thought I was a Gen Xer, and then when they came out with the dates, the exact finalized prerogative about 2 years ago, as it turns out, we're millennials. We're not Gen Xers. I always thought I was a Gen Xer because of the fucking X Games and everything was Generation X when we were growing up in high school, but we didn't count for that apparently, or they re-fucking categorized everything.
So
they're doing Bitcoin and Doge and GameStop and fucking AMC theaters. They're recategorizing everything. Wait a minute. Things are changing now, so we have to recategorize everything.
So apparently it's 1965 to 1980 is Gen X. So 39 to 54 years old. And then millennials are 1981 to 1996, 23 to 38. And then Generation Z is 1997 to 2000.
I guess I'm a Generation Xer then.
Technically.
But
you're right there.
But when you're on that borderline, it's like, well, I'm early 1980. I'm not late 1980. So I guess I'm a Gen Xer, man.
Yeah.
And I think tech is on the late side of that. So tech, you're a millennial.
There's Generation X, Y, and Z.
What's wrong with what's wrong with the laughing emoji? One user asked TikTok, another comment, it's so off. It's so off. So this is what Gen Zers are doing. The skull emoji has become the popular replacement for conveying laughter. It's the visual version of the slang phrase "I'm dead" or "I'm dying."
Hey, you got to say that in your Christopher Walken voice.
I'm dead or I'm dying.
Or about the crying emoji in your Christopher Walken voice.
Oh, okay.
It's offensive.
What's wrong with the laughing emoji? It's off. It's so off. It's not even funny anymore. Listen, you used the skull, all right? it states that I'm dying or I'm dead. It's over. Who knew? I haven't done walking in a while, so my walking's probably off, just like the crying, laughing emoji. So that's what we got so far is the crying, laughing emojis off. No, rest in peace, crying, laughing emoji. Like, this is what we've come to. Is this really our fucking?
Like, and this made national news.
This made CNN. This was a CNN article with everything going on with the Capitol. It was a CNN article. I mean, listen, I don't care, but there it is. I mean, fuck, there it is.
It's dead.
It's dead. It's over.
Hey, have you seen that new Adam Sandler video of 25 years later with Happy Gilmore and Shooter McGavin?
No.
Dude, it's hilarious, man. You gotta check it out.
They did do another 25 years later. They did like a recap. They did like a catch up of oh God. Oh, but they did do a fucking Fresh Prince reunion.
This is funny because Happy Gilmore, like, you know, does his famous golf swing like he did in the movie like 25 years later, and he's filming himself while he's doing it. And he hits the ball or whatever. And then Shooter McGavin is like in his house and he's like, "Hey, Gilmore, watch this." And he hits the golf ball in a glass. He sets it up in his house. And he's like, "I still got it. Shooter. Shooter."
I just watched that.
He's like, meet me on the green at 9. Because they wear something nice.
Wear something nice. Don't wear a fucking AC/DC hat don't wear an AC/DC t-shirt and a trucker hat again. I love that movie. It's funny you mentioned that, dude. I just watched that movie again.
You have to see it, man. It's classic.
I think I watched it like a week or two ago on HBO Max.
Yeah, you got to check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, I've actually gone to the theater like a few times.
What'd you see?
I saw The French Exit last night, which was like really different.
The what?
Like, it's a Michelle Pfeiffer movie called The French Exit.
Did you go to the city, man?
No.
You got to go to the city, man.
Which city?
I mean, I was in a city.
But what city?
I was in the local Fort Lee area in New Jersey.
I thought you were in Manhattan, man.
Oh my God! What city?
Nah, bro.
Dude,
Fort Lee, it's next to Colorado, Oklahoma. Right next door.
Yeah, it's up there right next to
I thought you lived like 8 blocks away from Manhattan.
I live 8 blocks
8
from
minutes. He lives 8 minutes. This shit's recorded, by the way. And all the previous stuff's recorded. If you ever want reference to what we have said.
Can you pull up the exact location of Fort Lee? Because our audience has no clue where that is.
Fort Lee. All right, Fort Lee. All right, so going back to this Michelle Pfeiffer movie.
Yeah, it's called The French Exit. It's like a former like New York socialite gets old. Like, it's about like how her husband died and like somehow his soul ended up in her cat. She has a weird son. Like,
the what? Is this a new movie?
It's a new movie. That's right. It's a new movie called The French Exit.
The French Exit.
Yes.
The French Exit.
Yes.
Well, there it is, right there. French Exit 2020. Like, why haven't I heard about this fucking movie? It's like a super indie flick, isn't it?
It's a bit on the indie side for sure.
They're only filming in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
You have to check out this place, Fort Lee.
The French Exit. Oh, nope, that's not him. Never mind.
Yeah, it's good though. Real good movie. And I saw a really good movie about Gitmo. with Benedict Cumberbatch, which I think both of y'all really like. It's called the Moratorium. Really good, really, really good. About Gitmo and how they were basically torturing people there, and they needed to just pin the 9/11 attacks on somebody, and they tortured a whole bunch of people that weren't necessarily involved, but they needed scapegoats. So they played like all this heavy metal music and like all these various torture methods with them, and psychologically tortured them to get confessions. And this guy who they actually took actually was a writer, and like he wrote a whole book about it. And the government redacted all this information out of, you know, the book, because it basically was saying that the government had taken them just to make a case against somebody and needed to take somebody down, and they had no proof, and they made up all this proof, and they tortured these people to get these confessions that weren't real, because they were just withered down on nothing by the time they, you know, been tortured to death almost. Just admitted to like anything. And
So-
the true story, based on a true story. Really
So what's the name of this one?
that one's called the Mauritanian, the Mauritanian Cumberbatch.
With who?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm typing in the wrong fucking computer.
That was good. That was like, anybody in the military or likes those kind of like, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, I want to see The Little Things.
It was good.
Have you seen it?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks badass, man. Jared Leto and
Denzel,
Denzel
baby.
Washington, man. That seems like a classic, dude.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
Yeah,
in the
it was
making.
good. It was good, man.
You saw it, Glenn?
Yeah.
Was it like classic Denzel, or was Jared Leto really that creepy?
Jared Leto was creepy. I'm gonna tell you, Rami Malek stole the show though.
Right. I forgot he was in that.
You think it was Academy Award worthy?
Yeah, that's the cat. Those are the actual people that the movie. So those are the two actors. That's Jodie Foster in the back, who played the lady on the left, who was the lawyer.
Shailene Woodley. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the guy. That's the actual guy who was captured by the.
So the real guy plays himself in the movie?
No. They use him in the end of the movie. You see him at the end, and he does his whole. That's him though. That's the guy in the movie. Is not. He's an actor.
This is the real guy.
That's the real guy, and that's the real lawyer who defended him right there in front. And those are the two females.
But this is the actor that plays that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might be Israeli or something. I don't know what he was, but yeah.
This guy just keeps losing weight over and over and over again.
Yo, Cumberbatch's accent in this is so all American. It's crazy.
Dude,
he's so good.
Have you seen Doctor Strange though?
I
Yeah, good movie, man. Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I gotta see it.
Like he.
Oh wait a minute. No, of course I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Marvel movie Doctor Strange. Like, yeah, he just nails these accents, man.
That's right. He had an American accent, but this one is like a Southern, like all American, like, you know what I mean? Like he got every nuanced detail about that voice down, and the slurs and the walk. Like it's crazy how
Kind of like your character, Damien Viteri. Like
I would say it was a watered down version of Damien Viteri. Nothing as you know committed as that.
That was a pretty stellar performance, man. The southern accent, man. You nailed it, man. With the Damien Viteri joke.
I mean,
Nailed it, bro.
Out of nowhere.
Out of left field, man. Came up with it.
It worked. It worked for the character. I mean, like he just forgot what his cover was at one point.
He forgot that he was living in New Jersey for a minute. It must be a Southern Jersey accent.
South Jersey. That's right. South
Jersey. South Jersey.
Little twang.
Well, it's not South Jersey if you're 8 minutes away from Manhattan. That's definitely North Jersey.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
What's on the horizon, Dirko?
Well, I mean, new city, man. Similar goals. I mean, it's definitely. I realize we're in the second month of 2021, and I finally like saddled into the year and realized there are some new goals up ahead. But I think primarily, I really would like to take my personal life on. And you know, the past couple of years have been so much work, and the past 10 years have been so much work. I think it's only fair to start living a little bit, you know. So that's really where my head is at.
Hey, dude. I mean, listen. I mean, I know we're familiar with Gary Vee. And I was listening to some of the stuff he was saying, and he's like, I love sleep, dude. You know, like all this bullshit about this 24/7 grind. It's horseshit. There's no fucking way you can operate on a 24/7 grind. I love sleep. He's like, I sleep on an average anywhere between 8 to 10 hours a day. It's those 14 hours where I'm fucking killing it. But my sleep is somewhere between 8 to 10 hours a day. You have to fucking sleep, man. You have to rest. You got to recharge the bats. And for me, I mean, with an infant, man, dude, like I definitely see myself slowing down.
Yeah.
Like I can start feeling like the fucking gears grinding. I can feel like the fuel running out. I can feel like the machinery is getting old, man. And so
welcome to my world.
Dude,
nobody knows it better, man. That guy knows it.
I mean, every once in a while, I mean, dude, it's like one of those things, but then you get like that fucking highlight. And I sent you guys, and I posted it out on the channel, and to whoever's watching this, it's out there on the channel. It's on the links or whatever. But going like as I have my progress, right? I have my my procedure and my checklists. You know, you're checking boxes, you're getting gigs, you're doing gigs. Eventually, you get a copy of something. And then I've got a web series that documents behind the scenes of my stuff. And then I have a podcast that talks about the other series that talks about the behind the scenes, that talks about the gigs, and so on and so forth. And at some point, I see, oh shit, I'm coming back to this thing now, and it's time to catch up on this project. And I'm like, oh man, that Sharp thing when I played a sergeant major in that Army, you know, sexual harassment prevention thing 4 fucking years ago. Let me just go on YouTube and try to find it. And then I fucking find it.
You could have been promoting that years ago.
I could have probably been getting bigger, better gigs years ago. But the thing is, here's the thing. So when I found it, it was January. I think I found that in January of 2021 when I finally found it. It was only uploaded a year ago when I found it. So it was uploaded January 2020. Lo and behold, 2 months later, quarantine. So it's not like it would have fucking helped me with any gigs from March of 2020 to December of 2020. Because December 2020 is when I finally went back on set for the first time.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. And then I had another gig a week or two ago, an acting gig. And, you know, so steadily we're getting back. I mean, as we all know, I've got my second vaccine shot, plus I had it. So me, as far as the health of me and my family, we're not too concerned anymore because she's gotten shots. At some point he's going to get shots, but he had it. So now he's got natural antibodies. So we're a little bit more safe as far as being exposed and going out there. Of course, we all have to remain super safe, whether we got 1 shot, 2 shot, two shots and already had COVID.
1 mask, 4 masks.
1 mask, what'd you say?
1 mask or 4 masks. They're recommending like multiple masks.
Well, 1 mask
over the head.
Well, 1 mask. 1 mask, 1 mask. 1 mask. No, 1 mask, all masks.
What?
1 mass. MASS.
Oh, mass. All masks.
1 mask, all masks.
I didn't know this. Is
I'm
that
a trade? I just said it. I'm gonna trademark that.
I heard they're putting
entrepreneurship.
Like people are putting like pantyhose over their head and like all kinds of crazy ways to not breathe, you know? I don't know.
But yeah, dude, it's like, had I found that a year ago, I might have done some more promotion of myself earlier. But then again, as come to find out, there wouldn't have been any fucking gigs that would have been taken then anyway.
You're
So
telling me that that video is 4 years old?
Maybe 3.
You don't age, bro.
Botox, man.
Hell, just loving life, man. No Botox. Look at this 6 head. Look, I got a 5 head, man. This is definitely not Botox. I'm not doing any work. It's just loving life, dude. Like I'm just, I wouldn't say content. I'm always like working and trying to get the bigger, better thing. But I just fucking love what I do every day. I love my kid. I love my wife. I'm actually happily married.
But you're not killing yourself. Like
No, I'm not killing myself. I was killing myself when I was younger. And then I kind of made like the whole thing for myself. And so now with that, and then it's just a formula. It's just like this daily thing that becomes muscle memory. But eventually when you get to gigs, and even like, dude, even with the quarantine and starting the podcast, it was like, I'm doing that. So I'm happy and satisfied.
I mean, your body does it slows down, you know, you gotta,
oh God, yeah.
Like, I know like one point I was working, you know, 2 or 3 jobs, just grinding, trying to make some money, trying to do the music thing at the same time, trying to squeeze in some productions and, you know, like, but I found myself not being as productive because I was overworking myself. And like guys that are workaholics are way worse than somebody say works a 9 to 5, gets 8 hours of sleep a night, exercises properly, gets enough vitamins, is on a healthy diet versus the person that's working, say, 16, 18 hours a day, getting maybe 6 to 4 hours of sleep a night, not eating that great, not eating healthy, not, you know, just not being on a healthy regimen is worthless, you know, versus somebody that's working 8 hours, maybe 10-hour days, you know, getting adequate enough sleep. So yeah, I feel you, man, on that. Like your body starts slowing down. Like you can't operate like that. Longevity, you just end up getting burned out.
Well, I mean, you know, Dirko can remark on this because we always have conversations about my mentality is getting ahead of the 8 ball. Always being 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of the 8 ball. There was always like these projects that we were working on, and it's like, dude, I want to have content on the channel scheduled out months ahead. And you would see some content might look rushed, and it's like, yeah, I'm getting these first 5 episodes out right now in a day or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm scheduled out for 2 months so that I can take these 2 months and knock out 10 to 15 episodes with way more concentration, focus, really take my time. And now I'm 6 months, 8 months, 9 months out, scheduled out with concentration, and then work on the next thing. And then I can really, really focus. Now I've got 9 months. If I really needed those 9 months, now I've got 9 months to sit down and really take my time to concentrate on quality, on editing, on writing, on sound, and all that stuff. But if I can knock that in 4 months and then post those out, now I'm like a year and a half scheduled out. And so my thing is always being ahead of the curve, ahead of the 8 ball, way ahead of the 8 ball. Okay. And so, you know, the wife has tasks, or, you know, I have tasks to prepare for something with the military or something with the show or something with the podcast or something with the house. And I got a checklist. most people, they're like, oh, we can do one thing a week. And I'm like, no, I can do 3 things a fucking day every day for 4 days. So that the
That's because you're a machine.
But guess what?
He's a cyborg.
But guess what? You wake up. But guess what, dude? You wake up Friday and you don't have jack shit to do. Not only do you have a weekend, you got a 3-day fucking weekend. Because what's losing 1 hour of sleep Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? And then you ain't doing shit Friday. You lose an hour of sleep Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You're not doing shit Friday. You're not doing shit Saturday. You're not doing shit Sunday. You can actually sit down and watch Netflix and enjoy yourself. Crack open a fucking beer and not feel guilty. Maybe not work out and have a fucking cheat day because you deserve it. Because you spent an extra hour Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday vacuuming the whole house, doing all the fucking laundry, batch editing 7 episodes, in 3 hours. The next day you upload them all, schedule them all the info, description, all the shit that it takes to fucking put one fucking YouTube video up there. But you're doing it all like this and that and the other. You're so far ahead of the curve that now you can fucking relax, but you can still pump shit out. But you got to get yourself at some point in the beginning, you got to get yourself ahead of the 8 ball. And that's what I did fucking in 2012, 2013. We were living in that fucking attic, Alan's attic. And I was on that computer. All you heard was Seinfeld. I was watching Seinfeld. I was like,
dude, you were living in that void space.
I was half watching Seinfeld, editing music videos, editing.
Dude, Nelson had a room between the knee walls.
What's a knee wall? What is a knee wall?
It's that void space. Like if you look up, there's a window. It's kind of like an attic, but there's void spaces. And that knee wall it separates. There's 2 of them. You were living in between that knee wall.
Is it spelled knee wall like?
Yeah, like a knee.
Like a knee on your butt? Oh, there it is. The knee wall space. Dude, this is exactly what my room was like.
I know, man.
This is exactly what my room was like. Let me see if I can. Nope.
Dude, he basically rented you out like a knee wall space.
And it was, and guess what? I was paying for knee wall space. I knew exactly what I was paying for.
Yeah.
Knee wall space.
See, that space right there on your left would be the knee wall. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like say if you're in an attic. That would be that.
That's more like what I was living in.
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
That's more like it. What's funny is our master bedroom is gargantuous, but it's so far up, and then there's the knee wall. The knee wall is really far up. Our master bedroom is gargantuous, but then like the ceiling is still like that slanted knee wall. Yeah. We have a gorgeous. We got a gorgeous house now, man. Listen, I mean, dudes, and then it's also about appreciation about what you had, what you didn't have before, and what you have now, and it's the slightest upgrades.
And I definitely appreciate, where we came from, because we're both living in that shitty ass.
Growing
house,
up,
man.
But growing up, I mean, like PG County versus.
I don't even think that place that we're living at was legal, man.
Well, he sold the house. See, the thing is, he built faux walls, but those faux walls probably weren't in the original 1965 construction or 55 or whenever that house was built. He built faux walls, and he started sectioning off the house. Now you got a front and a back to the house, and then he can make studio apartments out of sections of the back of the house because he was doing whatever he was doing. But he sold that house, and all somebody has to go do is like knock down, I think, is knock down a wall. And now it's a 6-bedroom house. It's a fucking mansion if they knock down one wall. Because what that is, because I've seen other houses where you just go up a stairwell and it's bedroom, 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 bedroom. That's all it was. And so he just built a wall. He just built he probably just put in some fucking like, you know, double thick drywall and sectioned off the fucking house. And it's brilliant thinking. I don't know how the fuck the front people, unless the front people have their own washer and dryer somewhere, but the original construction where our washer and dryer was in the basement is where the whole house would have had the washer dryer. You know, it's hard to explain. You know, I never really did. I don't think I ever really did an in-depth video of that house. But so who's Carol Quigley? Professor Carol Quigley. Who is that?
Carol Quigley?
Yeah.
You don't know who he is?
I'm asking you.
Carol Quigley. I mean,
you have him as your backdrop, so I'm bringing you back into the conversation to tell me about the person in your backdrop.
I mean, you should just definitely Google him. I mean, he's been a mentor to some pretty important presidents we've had. But he's just a historian, and he's written a lot of good books. I think he was a professor at Georgetown University, but I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was Bill Clinton's mentor. He's just a really smart guy who saw a lot of things coming that are happening today, that a lot of dystopian novels are written on the back of, but he's just sort of saying, you know, a lot of things, or he's in his career, he said a lot of things that were pretty, you know, pretty scary at the time. It didn't seem like possible, but turned out a lot of it.
Like what?
True. I mean, he. Let me read some of his quotes here. Let's get some of his quotes he's famous for. Carol Quigley.
It seems like he's got a quote on your backdrop. Why don't you just read off of that?
I could.
He's got one right behind you.
Don, I mean, Dirko's over there, like Dirko is one of the few people that are allowed to like buy and sell after market closes. So he's doing that during the podcast. I'm like, I wanted to bring him back into the fold. I wanted to bring him back in the conversation.
Dirko, just turn around and read what's
on your backdrop.
I wish it worked like that. Please, like, I wish we had technology to just like put it on the wall and like, yeah.
So you gotta get a real one, man. This is real.
Yeah, I do need a real one. You could probably read it backwards there. Anybody want to try to read that backwards?
You have to get out of the shot completely.
The powers of financial capitalism. No, man, just had another far-reaching aim. Nothing less than to create a world system of financial control in private hands, able to dominate the political system of each country and the economy of the world as a whole. Hey, yeah, good, yeah. And then lo and behold,
Wall Street bets, GameStop happens.
Lo and behold, Trump.
Yeah. Wait, what does Trump got to do with all that?
The powers of capitalism to hold political office.
I mean, even before Trump, banking has pretty much superseded government forever. I mean, central banks and like the federal.
Sure. I'm not disagreeing with you there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about most recent.
He's just a real estate tycoon turned reality star.
Turned capitalist, turned reality star, turned president.
Yeah. I mean, right, like big money interest has been a problem since the beginning of time.
More regulation. GameStop, more regulation.
By the way, tomorrow is the big trial. Tomorrow is when Vlad from Robinhood, the CEO, is going to go and face SEC charges, and he's going to, be put on the stand to testify as to what exactly that whole, stopping of people trading for that day was about. They say it was liquidity. They say it was, the clearing housing firms. It takes 2 days to like complete a transaction. They give out all these money and options, you know, to people who didn't clear that money first. So we'll see what happens, man. But
that's why you gotta have USAA tied to your Robinhood, because it was dump,
I mean,
dump.
Robinhood is just not a good broker. I mean, it's not a real broker. It's like a millennial.
They're fucking apps, dude.
It's an app.
The
It's
whole
an
thing,
app.
it was made to gamify. It was made to make it simple. The average investor, the whole thing is, you know, take from the poor, get to it was this whole like scheme
Robinhood.
to like make it accessible, right? The average Joe, you and me could, you know, compete with all the big cats. But all these other brokerages like Charles Schwab, Vanguard,
So what's your prediction right now? Because
What about JP Marlin?
But what's your prediction right now for
He's over
Robin?
at JP Marlin.
What's your prediction right now for Robinhood holders? Should I close out of Robinhood right now?
So I think so that they were going to IPO like in the first half of this year. That's probably not going to happen. I think they're going to lose a few million, right? They were on like steady growth. And
I'm talking about what I have in Robinhood. Should I fucking dump everything and cash out?
No, I don't think you're going to.
Okay.
Look, Robinhood is just a middleman between a clearinghouse and a bank. It's not. It's really the brokerage. As long as they're right, they have a good solid relationship with the clearinghouse and a good solid relationship with the bank. There shouldn't be an issue. And as far as I know, they're backed by Citron Capital or whatever, like whoever Melvin Capital was actually owned by owns Robinhood. So I don't think that that's a problem. I just think that you know, if you want a good reputable brokerage, it isn't going to stop you know, American freedom from happening in the stock market. I think you've got other places to go that might be a better bet. Robinhood really isn't the one place to go, but that's where all the young people are. So that's what GameStop was. It was a young person's revolution.
Yeah, but you know,
pumping the brakes
right?
on.
But now that the fucking owner of Robinhood is facing charges,
well, because what they did was halt trading, and
right?
know, you can't.
They didn't halt trading for me particularly. I was able to fucking handle my business and do well because of what happened. The point I'm trying to make is if somebody's facing charges, should I pull out everything I have with the app?
No, I mean, I don't think they're being, I think the people are suing, but I don't think the SEC is investigating. It's not really, there haven't been formal charges. The SEC is a body that's meant to regulate things. I don't think they're going to charge something that helps the system generate money. I don't think they're going to actually try to criminalize them. I think they're going to end up defending Vlad and Robinhood. And I think what's going to happen is it'll be a little bit of a kabuki theater, kind of like, we want to blame them, but really they didn't really do much wrong. And like, what are we going to do about it? Like, we can try to.
They did do something wrong. They did do something wrong, but them being called out. And especially with Google, you know, deleting all the negative reviews, that was dirty too. That was dirty as fuck. But they definitely fucked up. They took back what they did within a day or two, and I think people were able to dump at the high prices like they should have been able to. I think everybody was able to.
No, the thing was that the day that it went from 3 to 400, that next day they stopped. So it dropped down to 2, and then it dropped down to 1, and then it dropped down to 50. By the time it came back, it was down to like 200 or 140, and the next day it was down to 50. So or 90, then 50. They didn't allow people to buy more as it was going up. They allowed.
So the only thing I understand is that they wouldn't let people buy more. They were allowing people to sell.
But you have to sell at a lower price. If you got in at a high price, you'd have to sell at a loss. Then they force people to sell at a loss, so hedge funds could come in and scoop up shares, you know, to earn back some of their losses, which was market manipulation, which is classic. Which is
market manipulation. But those who had shares, so you don't.
You want to sell high. Right?
Yes, you do want to sell high.
If that thing was at 200, you bought it, let's say 150 or 200, and you were hoping it goes to 4, and you couldn't sell for the next day or two. And
were they stopped?
It was 90.
Were they stopped from selling? They were never stopped from selling. They were stopped from buying, right?
I'm saying, yeah, but I mean, that's the whole thing, was that people wanted to buy options on it long term, short term. They wanted to make quick money the way the hedge funds do. to compete against the shorting, right?
To compete against the shorting. So they want to pump into it more to make
basically
it even more.
They force selling to lower down the price. Once the price has been driven down, hedge funds can buy more and cover their loss, cover their short loss positions.
I get that. But for those of us that bought it at very low over the summer and then dumped it at a really high point,
you took profits. That's what you're supposed to do. You did your job as an investor. You did it well. Yeah. I made money. You made money. We met out like bandits. Some people made $50,000 and donated it, paid off student loans. Yeah, but a lot of people, really the people that got screwed are people who jumped on afterward that weren't really investing from before, and that were like, it got to like it became a popular meme thing, and then everybody was like, oh, I'm gonna go casino gamble with the stock in the stock market.
And I get that there was still some market manipulation there, but I get what you're saying.
They were basically saying they were defending, like they were saying, like people who invest, they should know what they're doing. They should learn how to do it. People that came in overnight, they shouldn't lose their money. A lot of people did lose their money and give it back to the hedge funds.
They're trying to protect newbies. So their claim is they're trying to protect newbies from buying.
That's what they're saying. Yeah. That's just a.
I can see that. I can. Okay. So to play devil's advocate here, I can see their point.
Yeah, me too. But it was totally directed to say that, half of Americans can't handle investing. No, stay in your lane.
Neither can the fucking hedge funds, apparently. Neither can the fucking hedge funds. Neither can the fucking hedge funds handle investing because they fucking lost, and losing is a possibility, and they're gonna fucking cry and bitch and moan and ask for regulation all of a sudden.
That's right. I mean,
suck it up, man.
Yeah, it's basically we played the same game they play against each other. It's just we did it like with the internet, and it's never happened before. And they're like, wait. We need a day or two to figure out how to figure that out. And they got a day or two, and that was it. It was a conspiracy. They got a day or two. Doesn't matter how it happened. They miraculously got 2 days to figure out how to cover their losses. End of story.
Being bitches. Being little bitches.
They lost their
Did you see the guy crying? That fat dude, that fat white dude crying on CNBC?
Yeah. He felt bad for his billionaire buddies, They lost a few.
I mean, we gotta get somebody to come in here and regulate it.
They lost They lost one of their summer homes,
Chris, TechFall's boy Bill Burr's got his own podcast. He was talking about this shit. He goes, it's a brick and mortar company. These fucking things ain't around no more. GameStop is a brick and mortar shop in the corner of a fucking strip mall. And they're worth $350 a share. What the fuck? Fuck is happening?
Doesn't make sense. Yeah, makes no sense.
They cost this share is higher than fucking Apple right now. That's not fucking what the fuck is happening right now. It's a brick and mortar shop. It's a fucking Blockbuster for video games in a strip mall, and their stock is higher than fucking Facebook and Apple right now. They're about to fucking reach Tesla level right now.
It was a pump and dump. It's just
I know it was. I know exactly what it was. I know exactly what it was. It was it was Redditors, but the hedge funds can work the system. Why can't we?
Well, that's the point. Is that they don't think we should, but we can have the internet.
Right. So I mean, listen. Let me ask you a question, because I had somebody disagree with me offline somewhere. But let me ask you a question. Someone is shorting a stock to bring that stock down, right? That negatively affects that business, doesn't it?
Yes. The whole design, right, is a share price is designed to raise capital for the company so they could take that money and borrow more money and then expand the business out, because Americans can boost up this company and give it more growth if it believes in it long term, and they like the management and they like what the company does and all that, yada yada, right? The opposite destroys the company 100%.
Shorting a stock destroys a company, doesn't it?
It ruins their cash capital reserve a little bit, yeah, because that's where their
grand scheme of things.
Their cash capital.
Grand scheme of things, it's either black or white. It's either red or green. Shorting a stock harms a company.
I mean, the idea is meant like to keep checks and balances, right?
Black and white.
Bad companies.
Black and white.
Companies that deserve to get
black and white.
Companies that deserve to go out of business.
Simple yes or no. Simple yes or no. Simple yes or no answer. All of that, all those factors taken into consideration. I get what you're saying, but a simple yes or no answer. Shorting a stock harms the company.
It's a way to say the company doesn't deserve the valuation that it has, and to take away its.
So in other words, shorting a stock harms a company.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so, and you know, like, who knows if GameStop, a brick and mortar shop, and however many strip malls that have actual, like, you know, hard DVD, hard fucking CDs of video games, controllers, accessories, is worth its weight in gold, but them shorting the stock destroys that company.
I mean, they're trying to say that, like, retail stores that sell discs, like video game discs, shouldn't exist because, electronic, you can download, games.
Steam, Origin, Epic. Steam, Origin, Epic. What's the other one? Steam, Origin, and Epic are digital, strictly digital,
right,
video game purchasing platforms that you play it on, and then it's strictly, even fucking PlayStation, dude. Like, you have to actually buy that console,
right?
But you don't need a fucking disc anymore,
right?
You go to the PlayStation store, you can get Call of Duty downloaded to the PlayStation now,
right?
But then there's Steam, there's Origin, there's Epic, and these are sites that you would download and install a video game on your PC and play it.
But, like, is it the market's right to take away like retro
is
things?
GameStop GameStop actually doing well? Because people still go to these fucking places
GameStop
and get games.
They're not doing as well, but their e-commerce jumped 300% this last year. Like, they are going to have to transition to the online
because they are doing e-commerce.
Yeah, they're selling stuff online. Their sales went up 300% last year. Yeah,
and I knew that, and that's why, and that's why I took your stock tip. Now, I took your stock tip with that only because I had that that prior video gamer knowledge of what they're probably delving into. But then, hey, listen, man. You bet for the market. Hedge funders are betting against the market. They're betting against some company. We just happen to bet for a company. Right. And for some third fucking bizarre, nerdy fucking, let's hack the system with something, we met out like bandits. It was a third thing that just landed in our fucking pocket. And it was like, fucking take it.
If you don't play, you can't win, right?
Exactly, hedge funds. If you don't, you made the wrong bet. Suck it up. Oh, but we lost it. GameStop would have. You're pissed off because GameStop didn't, and you did. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. Fucking scumdicks.
Yeah. It is absolutely. It was just to make them money, and they didn't care who got hurt. They didn't care about retail investors getting hurt.
They don't. I mean, they would have done it to Apple 40 years ago.
Absolutely. I'm sure they tried. I'm sure if you look it up, I'm sure they got shorted at least once or twice, Apple, back in the day. I'm sure of it. It's a practice in Wall Street. Every company goes to this.
But they don't even look at well, maybe they do. I don't know.
No, they look at stuff. But the problem with shorts, they make up lies. They make up these reports. The whole thing is just to slander a company before people know, confuse people, make the money, then buy the shares back when people realize the company's actually good, and they make money both ways. It's just very predatory, and really, like, it isn't. Most people hate short sellers, right? These companies that like Citron, they're notoriously hated because all they do is bet against. Everybody wants to bet for American capitalism, for the free market. They want capitalism to grow, right? The economy to grow. So it's not popular, but like if you win 1 out of like 100 times in a short game, it's a lot bigger of a win. But you do lose a lot more. That's why it's only a billionaire's game to bet that risky. And then the bigger problem was that they were betting with positions that didn't even exist. So they were borrowing shares, people like you and I, and then 40% more. So that if they didn't go their way, they were going to have to come up the money with somewhere. So this Melvin Capital had to borrow money from another billionaire hedge fund to cover their losses, so their margin call wouldn't put them out of business. You know what I mean? So the whole thing was just one lie based on a scammy kind of practice, and it was kind of just it was exposed. This whole thing was just, the lid was just torn off after this whole saga.
So shorting a market or shorting a stock, I'm sorry, shorting a stock, like it's still borrowing shares. That's where I'm lost at. Shorting a stock means opening a position by borrowing shares that you don't own, and then selling them to another investor. Shorting or selling short is a bearish stock position. In other words, you might short a stock if you feel strongly that its share price was going to decline. So
you don't buy in a short sale. You're borrowing, then selling. When you buy a stock, you're buying, then selling. When a short is getting a stock, they're borrowing.
Well, how do you borrow a stock?
The brokerage owns the stocks, or the brokerage has retail stock investors who own a stock, and they lend out the stock.
What do you mean lend out a stock? So if I lend you a stock, are you giving me something in return?
If you lend me a stock, I got to give it back to you at some point.
With interest?
The idea is that I give it back to you when it's lower, and then I get to keep the price difference, and you get to keep the stock.
Who the fuck would lend a stock then?
Brokerages. They do that. They just hold stocks to lend them out. And then if you take a bet and you lose, the bank gets to keep your loss, or they get to keep.
I don't fuck him. I'm still lost, man. I gotta look at a dummy proof, because I came up with a system on how I use Robinhood.
Right.
And I got about 2 steps into it and confused the fuck out of tech. I confused the fuck out of my wife.
Right.
I've told you what I do, and I know you get it.
Yeah, well, limit orders that's a common
I think TECHFALL gets it. I think TECHFALL gets it now, because I actually showed him. Because the biggest thing for me, and I'll be perfectly fucking honest with you, the biggest thing with me with stocks is keeping track of it. I'm not going to sit there and watch this shit all fucking day every day. But by me doing limit orders at a set price, at a set number of shares, at a certain expiration date of that limit order, it's automated. Mm-hmm. Set it and forget it, and I get a notification on my phone, something sold. And then
a lot of pros do that. A lot of guys, they don't want to watch it. They want to set it, forget it, and it automatically buys. They leave the money in their account and it automatically does it when it gets to their price target. A lot of pros.
And so when I see that limit order sold, so that's what I was telling Tech. So and I think I even went over this last time, but I'll go over it again. So say I buy 100 shares of Taxum. I buy 100 shares at $1, so that's $100 for 100 shares, right? I bought it. I have 100 shares at $1 of stocks, so that's $100. I immediately turn around, do a limit order of 50 shares at $2 a stock, the maximum expiration date, set it, forget it. I get a notification 3-4 days, a week later, that it's sold. So now I have the house's money. I go back into the Taxum stock that I now have 50 shares of. I do yet another limit order, 25 shares at $4 or $5 a share. Limit order, maximum expiration date. Then I take that $100 that I just made of the house's money. I go buy another stock, say at $1 a stock, 100 shares, right? Now I'm using the house's money, and I buy another stock, say 100 shares at $1 a stock of ABC, and another limit order on that, 50 shares at $2 a stock, maximum expiration date, which is usually 90 days. Set it, forget it. Now, next thing you know, 6 months later, you got 40 different stocks and 40 different limit orders, 40 different fucking stock prices. And so that's where you can start getting OCD. You can start gambling or getting super OCD with math. If this is your third time around doing a limit order on that same stock, you can do 3 times, you can do 6 times, you can do 10 times the price, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. And that's my whole fucking program. But you know, for me, that program works way better than watching, oh, it went up 3 cents. I'm not fucking sitting there doing that.
Well, I mean, you could also just park your money in like an ETF and it'll just grow.
Of course. ETFs, Roth IRAs, 401ks, traditional, all that stuff. And I have that too. I got a shitload of that as well. And that is set and forget for, 20, 30 more years.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this, like in cryptos, the cryptos are set and forget for like a year. Because
say the Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the rest are probably, well, even Bitcoin and Ethereum in the next year, by October 26th of this year, the bull run will technically be over, and a lot of those things will have a massive change. They're all going up this year. They go on a 4-year cycle. We're in that we're at the phase where they go up, and then at the end of the year, a lot of them will drop off and disappear. We assume that Ethereum and Bitcoin will be here, but we're in a bull run, and crypto has like it's like a program. Like every 4 years, it does exactly virtually the same thing. It's like not like the stock market where you don't know what's going to happen. You got to like compete. This is like, it's like trading for dummies. Crypto is basically. It's a lot more volatile. It goes up, it goes down like a lot, but I can almost guarantee you that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going much higher over time.
Something to consider.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a good strategy. I've never heard of anybody just buying things low, setting limits, and it's like you're basically able to like just use the stock market blindly and buy things low and sell things high and make a profit. I mean, if you can especially at this point, because I dabbled with Robinhood for the past 5 years. It was definitely during the quarantine where I jumped on it, because what else was there to fucking do? Right.
And it was the 4 categories for me. It makes nothing but sense. It's tech. It's, oh God, I was just talking about this today. It was tech. Well, it was definitely healthcare and pharma.
I hope you got genomics, EV, MJ, artificial intelligence, blockchain. I hope you got those in there, because those are the.
Yes, but generally it's healthcare and pharma.
Right.
It's tech, and it's God, what the hell? Crypto, and it was energy.
Yeah, that's another
energy one. Because everybody's working from home.
Right. And we're switching over to electric cars and leaving.
So it's progressive energy. It's it's progressive energy.
Yeah.
Especially progressive energy. It's people working from home.
Mm-hmm.
It's also real estate, not commercial real estate, but residential real estate, because people are working from home. I know a number of businesses, I know a number of production companies that have gone completely remote. on location, no studio, no office, no headquarters, either remote or on location or in the field. So it's residential real. That's what it was. Residential real estate, a little bit of energy, especially progressive energy. Residential real estate, progressive energy, crypto, pharma, healthcare. Those are the 5 categories.
Yeah, I mean, look, healthcare.
And that's going to be it for the next. That's going to be it until like 2025, and then we'll be at this hybrid or semi-old normal. Okay,
Yeah.
but for the next 5 years, it's going to be till 2024 at the soonest. And seriously, man, like that's really all I'm looking at is like,
yeah,
tech. People are dumping into tech, dude.
Well, oddly enough, the big tech sectors are really not doing as well as a lot of the newer emerging disruptive technology tech companies and, you know, newer technology companies. Like those are the ones where they're riskier, like the Russell 2000 companies, they're riskier, but there's more growth potential than Facebook or Apple, right? Those are long-term, slow growth companies. But yeah, tech is always, right? That's always the number one thing on people's minds, right?
Well, I mean, we can hear a little bit of Tech's track, that dope ass track that he just sent us. So let's talk a little bit about music. You know, Dirko, anything in the music field? TECHFALL, anything in the music field?
Yeah, I just getting this track out called All of Me, being distributed probably in the next week to all streaming services like Spotify, YouTube, every digital platform on the market. So that's where I'm gunning at this next week. So I'm excited for that. So big thing,
man.
Coming out from Zombie Squad and in the Zombie Lab, you know, just pushing out track after track. So I've been working on this track for a while, been meaning to get it done. Finally mastered it and getting out there on all digital platforms, you know, iTunes, iHeartRadio.com. Yeah, I'm excited. Get my music out there. Let these people hear what Zombie Squad has to offer.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Excited. Can't wait to hear it. Sounds great what I've heard, man, so far.
Yeah.
We listened to it a little bit. We listened to it a little bit when I was in that quarantine lodging, dude. It's like future rave, future 80s EDM, 80s future rave. That's the new sound, future rave.
Dude, yeah, dude. I've been listening to, like, a lot of people are taking advantage of this quarantine. Like Mike Shinoda, you know, he was like the back front man to Linkin Park. You know, the rapper of Linkin Park. Like, dude, he's been on Twitch, like working with all these underground artists, like in producing tracks. Like, it's pretty dope what he has. Like, I've been following him on Twitch, and he's just going like straight into production. Like, that's all his focus is now, is just his music production. Got a lot of, we're working tracks on mixing and mastering on using Pro Tools and stuff like that, but he's reaching out to like pretty much any artist that can bring it, you know. But his main focus during this quarantine is focus on producing, mixing, and mastering tracks for different artists, you know. So I think that's pretty cool. Like a lot of people are reaching out to these underground artists. Like this, I've been listening to a lot of artists from the UK.
Twitch was
like,
killing it.
Dude, these guys from the UK are bringing it, man. Like Ocean Wisdom just did a debut album with Method Man. Like, that track is fire. Like, super cool how these.
Have you seen Method Man? Method Man looks like like a caveman. Like he's been like he's been hiding in a cave somewhere. Like he looks super hippie, man. Like hiding. Oh my god, Redman right now. Like he looks trippy. I forgot what I saw Redman on, but oh, I know what it was. There was this whole YouTube video about rappers
Rappers not giving a
rapper
shit.
no
What their
rap
parents looks like.
no no rappers talking about Eminem, but like this dude went ultra hippie, dude. Ultra Redman. Yeah, Redman shouts out to Eminem. But like he clearly just went super underground. Dude, I had his first album, man, and like that was a dope track. Let me see if I can find a good picture. I mean, like, this guy's almost unrecognizable, bro. Almost unrecognizable. But like,
wow,
he's just loving life. Just probably just smoking weed, living green as fuck. Just does not care. Like, dude, I'm Redman. Like, do I give a shit? I'm collecting residuals from How High, just How High alone. Not to mention his albums. I mean, dude, I had his first album. His first album was dope as shit. But, you know, just living green, just loving life, man. Like, clearly being positive. Because I've seen a lot of his stuff. He's from Philly, right? I think he's from Philly or Jersey.
Because I know he's from Jersey.
Because I know he's from the same area as EPMD. EPMD I think founded him and produced his first album. He rapped on like one of their albums, and then they produced his first album. Redman did, and like Time for Some Action, I think was a Redman track, but he sampled Be Real.
Yeah, that was a Be Real sample.
Yeah, he sampled Be Real from How Could I Just Kill a Man?
That's what it's from.
But Be Real said the words Time for Some Action. So he sampled that, made his own track, Time for Some Action, which was one of Redman's dopest.
It's like, it's time for some action. Yeah, that joint.
Fucking like grimy, gritty music video. Definitely a staple of 90s hip hop rap videos. But to me, that was like one of his best tracks, man. Like that was just like a hard fucking awesome track. I was always a huge fan of Redman, but then, you know, as things progressed with like he started acting and like, you know, doing comedies and stuff like that. Like, wasn't Redman in like Soul Plane or some shit?
No, it was Method Man was in Soul Plane. Was
he? Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna look up Redman's filmography here.
I'll be right back.
Bye.
I'm gonna grab something real quick.
Oh, he was in Blade. No, he wasn't.
He was
all right, it's just all me, huh? I'm all by myself here. All right, so Professor Carol Quigley, the powers of financial capitalism had another far-reaching aim, nothing less than to create a world system of financial control in private hands, able to dominate the political system of each country and the economy of the world as a whole. Professor Carol Quigley, School of Foreign Service, passion to understand. I mean, that makes sense.
The guy was a legend. He was just a true scholar, man. But he left a lot of warning signs for people about global conspiracies and things of that nature. And
welcome 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, he argued
alone.
The banking elite have been working this plan out for a long time, and you know, to spread certain global values of theirs. that are somewhat, you know, mired in controlling of the population, that sort of thing in some way. So.
Yeah. Well, to do watch list, man. Crime Scene: The Vanishing of Cecil County. I'm sorry. Crime Scene: The Vanishing at Cecil Hotel. So you guys,
Dude, that's awesome. Awesome show.
dude, have you seen it,
Yeah.
Durko?
Yeah, I saw it.
Durko, okay, so TECHFALL saw it. Durko, do you remember in 2013 this video came out of this Asian American girl in the elevator tripping balls, freaking out?
It doesn't come to mind, no.
So so that should be on the top of your list right now. Crime Scene: The Vanishing at Cecil Hotel.
Okay.
And it's about this girl, Elisa Lam. She went missing in this hotel. And, you know, it was a huge YouTube phenomenon. All these YouTubers and web sleuths jumped on this series. We're trying to like analyze the video and things of that nature. And I remember when the YouTube video came out, I think and like, as I was watching it, I kind of remembered, you know, hearing what some of the updates were as this case progressed in 2013. It was wild, but yeah, man, that's a to-do watch on Netflix.
So this is about that Asian girl who freaked out.
Yeah. And then you got The Little Things, as TECHFALL mentioned. The Little Things is fucking good. WandaVision.
You know, I started watching WandaVision.
Whoa.
So I watched the first episode.
WandaVision, dude.
What do you think about it?
I love it.
Is that Wanda Sykes' show?
No, it's Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, and Vision from the MCU. It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, they ran a lot of ads for it. I remember. Yeah.
Yo, WandaVision is like the number one shit right now. Yes.
Okay.
Especially if you're a Marvel fan like myself, obviously.
Like
shit.
everybody.
What else? So, Tech, anything you watched recently stands out?
I mean, I watched the first episode of WandaVision.
No.
And then I watched Cecil Hotel, which is like super interesting. Just like really cool. The history on the hotel and how they're talking about like Skid Row, dude. Skid Row is like no joke, dude.
Hell on earth.
It is just so crazy how like they just like when people get out of jail, they just drop them off on Skid Row. You know, it's like they take the whole section of LA, like the scumbags, the drug addicts.
Like a 6-block radius.
Yeah, no, dude. Is 6 blocks? No, it's 56 blocks.
Skid Row is 56 blocks.
56 blocks is Skid Row.
Okay, I'm listening.
Dude, it's crazy. Like how the dude, I bet you they're constantly sending like EMS over like 10, 12 times a day to Skid Row. Easily. And it's crazy how they fenced them in. Like they want to keep them in Skid Row. Like they don't want them.
It's not 56 blocks.
They don't want them all over the city. Hey, dude, it's something like 50 some blocks.
Okay, square radius, yeah. But it's
square radius.
So north and south it's like 10, and the east west is like 15.
It's 56 blocks total.
Square radius, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I see where your math is at, but I just fucked up the shot. Of course I did. What did I just click? So that's like essentially, what is that? Like southeast to northwest is like 10, maybe 11 blocks. And then the other way, like left to right's like 10 to 15 blocks, and then up is like 10 blocks. Or not even. Or is it? Yeah, okay. It is. Central Ave. San Pedro. Jesus Christ, man. Yep. I mean, it's a shit show out there, bro. I got to get it together.
I think Skid Row's always been like that, though.
Yeah, it has, but you know, dude, they could have done Cecil Hotel in like a 2-hour documentary. It didn't have to be 4 1-hour episodes. They were really stretching that shit out. Especially, so did you watch the Night Stalker series? Because I watched the Night Stalker series right before that. Me and the wife did. And the Night Stalker series was just like that. 80s LA serial killer shit. And then even in the Cecil Hotel documentary, they talked about the Night Stalker a couple times. And I think they're trying to go like on this bigger, vast Netflix documentary universe where everything ties into each other. The Night Stalker to the Cecil Hotel. The Cecil Hotel is going to be a part. They're probably going to touch into the Black Dahlia, because apparently she stayed at the Cecil Hotel and then she was found dead a week later. You know, I'm talking about the Black Dahlia, the famous murder, I think in the 50s and 60s in LA.
Yeah.
She was an aspiring actress in Hollywood, and then she was found dead. But apparently she had stayed at the Cecil Hotel. Skid Row, man, Skid Row. Well, looks like this roundtable is coming to a. You know, the world doesn't end at a bang. The world ends in a whimper, just like this episode. So, you ever heard that infamous quote? Probably from
Actually, I have.
Probably from Professor Carol Quigley. The world won't end in a bang. It's going to end in a whimper.
Oh, it's going to end in bang, bang.
I don't know how World War III is going to be fought, but World War IV is going to be fought with sticks and stones.
Right? We're at that stage right now.
We're at that stage right now. Well, gentlemen, it was a blast. Any closing remarks, plugs, links, socials? What's next on the agenda? Is TECHFALL. Take it away.
Yeah, you can hit us up on Facebook at TECHFALL 211. You can also hit us up at on IG at Zombie Squad 211. Hit us up. Check out our website. We got a lot of new merchandise for sale. Check out all of our shirts, our hoodie sweatshirts, our mugs, our artwork. We also have cell phone cases, iPhone cases, anything known to man that comes to merchandise, we got it. All Zombie Squad. We got the new Zombie Squad St. Patty's Day shirt. So St. Patty's Day is coming up, so we got that shirt for you. We also got the artwork for that if you want to buy some artwork. But the whole store is up and running. You can check it out at www.deadonpictures.com. You can check out all my music coming up. It'll be on IG, and all my music is on Spotify. We do have some of the podcasts on Spotify as well. You can check us out at Zombie Squad 211. So, yeah, just ring the bell. You know, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, whatever. Also, the Zombie SquadCAST shirts, they're online as well that you can cop. So, yeah, that's all I got. New music is coming out. All of me on all platforms. So watch out for that. And the links will be in when it all drops. I'll put a link in to the next show when it comes out on all platforms, so you can check them out.
What about Dirks?
Hey, I just want to, just take a moment to, send a little love out to everybody in Texas and Houston. I just saw a video of people filling up buckets of water at a spigot in Hayden Park, and it's just crazy to think about what's going on down there. So I hope all the all the families and you know, everybody out there is maintaining and doing okay and sending prayers and love out there. And, you know, just looking forward to all the amazing things this year has to offer. It's got to be better than last year. And, you know, it's ready for what's next.
Yeah, you heard it here. Thanks for watching. Like they said, I mean, TECHFALL pretty much said it. Check out the shop, check out the website, deadonpictures.com. Once again, fight for Landon, Landon's Mafia, but buddy of mine, Landon Koya, sarcoma NOS. He's at the Child Pediatrics for you know, children's cancer treatments and stuff like that. So links in the description below if you want to help to his Indiegogo, to his I'm terrible right now, but if you want to help out Landon, check out the links below. Landon has been dealing with this sarcoma NOS since birth, and he's gone in remission. He's kicked it twice. I think he's in his third remission, so he's going to kick it a third time, especially with the help of you. So check it out. Links in the description below for that. To my viewers, hope I've earned the privilege of the time and viewership. I know my homies have. And until next time, you know what to do.
Store.